Welcome everyone, my name is PaullyMac. Today I'm bringing you the pick'ems for Week 8 of GBA D-League Season 4. Yes, I am back after a week off on vacation with my family, and as always, I am joined by Sock.
I'm holding it down here at home. What is going on, you GBA D-League type people? It's Sock here with another week for the Discord pick'ems. We are into Week 8 now, into the back half of the course.
Yes, we're finally getting down to the nitty-gritty near the end of the season here, getting intense in this playoff race up in here. A lot of teams still in contention, and a pretty good week for most of the analysts last week. And I wasn't here obviously to talk about our pick'ems, but most people with winning records outside of two people, big weeks for everyone.
I'm just going to say it right now. I'm at 500. I am happy with whatever went down.
Yeah, you made a big bounce back. A lot of people just made similar picks because a lot of the matchups seemed like fairly easy picks for a lot of people. You know, almost everyone went with Leo and with Zazo and with Danza, and outside of the couple people who did that, we ended up with a bunch of 5-1 and 6-0 records outside of the two people who went 2-4, being Narth and Mio, who were going all out trying to be a little crazy just to like maybe catch up if they got lucky and got those games right, but just put them back on the pushed them back a little bit further. And I will say this as well, that that Texas versus Phoenix game, me and Sock locked that. I believe, what was it, week 3 that we locked that?
Week 3, we were looking at matchups, and I was looking at Randy's team, and I was messaging Pauly because we were about to record for pick'ems. I'm like, Pauly, what does Turbo have for Celesteal plus Mega Lob? And he took a second to reply. He's like, I don't know. So I instantly went to that page and locked it so I could get my lock in before anyone else locked that game.
Yeah, same. We both just had our locks chilling. We was like, there's no way that Randy loses this game with that matchup. And we were right. So, hey, shoutouts to us. But, pretty good week. And Mio tried to give some love to Sohan there, OP Jellison. But not to be. Still looking for that first win. But, hey, it's solid here. I'm in 3rd place amongst the analysts. No, I'm 4th. Forgot Bird passed me. Bird slightly passed me. The week before, I completely missed the week 6 results because obviously I wasn't there to record. But I'm right up there. I have a winning record, and that's all that matters. None of us will catch Tom, but that's not important.
Yeah, Tom's off in his own league. We're in a race to catch the fan Discord right now.
Yeah, pretty much. We're not too far behind. Hopefully we can catch him. But after a 6-0 week from the fan Discord last week, big credit to you guys. It's going to be tough in these last few weeks to be able to catch them.
Speaking of the fan Discord, hopping into next week's picks, this week you guys are deciding to lock the good friend Troy CJ. You guys are picking the Calgary Flame Wheels. You guys are also picking the Detroit Butterfrees, coached by Iron Flash Gaming aka Zazo. You guys are locking the Durham Shreddagunch, coached by 6-Foot Trash. You guys are also picking the New York Empoleon. You guys are also picking the LA Needle Kings.
Yes, and a bit of an interesting week. Another one where it seems like a lot of the picks here are fairly one-sided, outside of 1 or 2, but 4 pretty lopsided looking matchups here. And we'll hop right into that first one here. We have Troy CJ and the Baltimore Orioles taking on Aaron and the Calgary Infernapes. Most people going Baltimore here outside of Aster and Mio. And first thing I noticed immediately, Tracheon. Holy crap, what does Aaron have for Tracheon? Not much. The dual stab just absolutely destroys him. I could totally see a double dance set coming here, and with whatever Z move he wants, rock or fighting, just dual stab just absolutely destroys him. On top of this, Aaron's Darm resist is a Volcanion. Not the best Darm resist because a ground earthquake and rock slide exist, and rocks exist as well. So not the best resist. On top of that, Mega Latios has a few solid options here. Unfortunately, you can't just run a Calm Mind to attack Roost set because you're not hitting something, basically. You want to be able to have that Psy Shock for the Clefable, you want the Shadow Ball to hit the Bronzong, and you want Dragon Pulse to be able to hit the Hydreigon. Speaking of which, look at Aaron's side. Taunt Hydra looks super nice here. There's a lot of annoying mons on CJ's team that a Taunt Hydra could just shut down or make a little bit less useful, especially something like a Suicune. That's how you shut down a Suicune right there. A good old Taunt Hydra that doesn't take much damage from any move that Suicune wants to do and can keep it from setting up or resting or roaring or whatever. On top of that, Clefable is so important. It really is the best check really that it has to Tracheon and Mega Latios combined. It's not amazing to check both of them, but it's really it's the best he really has. Bronzong also exists, but Bronzong gets worn down. Domfan can get worn down a little bit for dealing with the Tracheon. Clefable's the only one of those that has reliable recovery that can help deal with those monsters a little bit better. And even that involves dodging Stone Edges from +2 Terrakion anyway. So we'll see how Aaron deals with it. I have CJ winning this. CJ's been playing the better Pokemon. I think CJ has the matchup, especially with that Terrakion there. But there are some things here for Aaron that can do work.
And taking a page actually out of Tom's notebook, I also took a look at this game with the matchups, of course, but I also took into account the way they've been playing recently. CJ's been playing very, very well. It's just 1 or 2 turns where he's seemed to not get it right. Versus Aaron, I think he has a chance to get his game back into gear, and this could be a turning point in his season so he can kick his butt into gear and make it into playoffs. Now, going into our next game, we have the Calgary Flame Wheels coached by Deebs versus the Toronto Leaf Storms coached by Sohan. Now, Deebs, does anyone want to notify Sohan that he gets more destroyed than MV's comment section in Season 7 by Superior? Also, the combo of Togekiss plus Lucario destroys Sohan if Crobat goes down. Now, if you're Sohan, if you want to win this game, it will be because of Crobat. It is your best answer to most of Deebs' offense, and it puts massive pressure on Rocks being up, and Lando T hitting Stone Edge or Continental Crushing. And Florius is probably the other mon that pairs with it, that if Sohan does win this game, those two will have to carry and put a backpack on.
Yeah, it'll be tough for Opie Jellison, and he obviously has struggled this season, still looking to get the on the board. I just look at Lando T, and I'm just like, okay. That exists. Sorry, OP Jellison. Like, even just a rock polish that can do so much work here. That's like the one thing I just look at and just go, yep, alright. There's the game in that Pokemon's hands right there. Pulse Superior, as you mentioned, that thing is just a massive threat.
Yeah, it's also a massive threat to my ego and MV's ego as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, going into our next game.
Anyway, yes, moving on to our next game, we have Zazo and the Detroit Butterfrees, Iron Flash Gaming, taking on the Texas Rangers, coached by Randy HLD. And first looking at Zazo, his core just deals with everything. If he plays his bulk right, I don't see a way he loses this game. That Slowbro plus Zapdos core is going to be so difficult for Randy to break. And honestly, I don't really know how he does. If Zazo plays his bulk smart, I don't see how he loses. To continue looking at his offensive mons after that, Mega Mawile doesn't have there's not really a great switch in, just because it does get like Fire Punch to hit the Celesteela. It gets Stone Edge as well to be able to hit a Rotom Heat. So it has the coverage, so if it brings the right coverage, but it's really probably going to have to be a 4 attack set, just a wall breaker set. And it can actually come in on a couple of Randy's better offensive mons, things like a Latios or a Megalop, because it can take a hit and then just kill him, and you don't want to lose, one of your best offensive mons if you're Randy. Heracross is another monster here. Its dual stab covers everything here except for Slurpuff. It hits everything super hard, and especially if it gets hazards up for things like the Rotom Heat that might be able to chew it a little bit better if it's a physically defensive set, and maybe do some damage back with Overheat, but Rocks does put a damper on that. Looking for Randy, Shaman is super important here because it is one of the only ways that he has to deal with Slowbro. And another mon as well, Mamoswine, one of the best mons that he has to offensively deal with Zapdos. And on top of that, Mamoswine really is the best offensive threat that Randy has here. Slurpuff is a pretty good win con actually here, and if Randy wins, I would not be surprised to see a Slurpuff sweep come up, because it does have a pretty good matchup here. And I really actually, this is not just me being like, I want to see weird things. Barbarkle actually is another pretty solid matchup here, and if we can get a Shell Smash up here, I genuinely could see Barbarkle putting in some work. Like, genuinely, the combination of like stab plus fighting coverage plus X-Scissor with Tough Claws, it could put work here. So let's see what happens. But I gave Zazo the lock here, and I just think his defensive core is gonna be too much for Randy to break. In
case anyone's keeping track at home, I always say something along the lines of Volcanion does work. Paulie over here decides, Barbarical always puts in the work.
Hey, like I said, like stab plus those 2 coverage moves, it's over.
Oh, yada yada yada. Anyway, going into our next game, we have the Durham Druddigons, coached by 6-Foot Trash, aka Leo, versus the Carolina Pantherians, coached by Techno. Now, at the time of recording this, his team has not been updated on any doc that I have been given, so the matchup is of the original team that he inherited from Turbo. Going into it, now Leo, Magearna does Magearna things. Plain and simple. Zygarde does Zygarde things. Plain and simple. overall, this game should be fairly lopsided. However, you could get caught with a random set and could get upset if you do get too cocky. Now, on Techno, welcome to the D-League. You play the season champion of last season and the #2 player in the league to start off. Welcome! Good luck! Nidoking is actually super solid this game, and Mega Arrow is actually pretty nice as well. You can put in some work. However, I don't think he can pull this one off right against Leo. If Leo plays this right, and Leo usually does, as much as I hate to say it, he does have a fairly solid matchup in this game, and I just see him walking around with this, kind of giving Techno the kind of old Major League welcome.
Yeah, I could see that as well. Like Mega Metacham, there's not really a switching on Techno's side there at all. I'm trying to think of what I mean. I guess. Oh nope, never mind. That's an unmon. Never mind.
Wait, did you just say a mon that just is not even an actual mon? Like, is Cap in this?
I almost.
When did we allow Cap?
I almost mentioned it. It was a slip of the tongue, I swear.
I'm about to say I will take you behind the woodshed. Anyway.
All right. Anyways, moving on to the next matchup here, our 5th matchup of the week. We have Melantosh and the Exeter Chief Electivires taking on Goldoa Dragon and the New York Empoleons. Hottest battler in the league right now, Goldoa.
Kappa Pride!
And he's been killing it this season. He's been having, he's been the big surprise this season, the one that came out of nowhere, much like Randy was the season before, and went on to the championship game. Goldoa has been that this season, and I'm very happy to see that. Starting out with Melon, Z-Move Zygarde, absolutely terrifying. So much out cheer towards Goldoa, because that Z-Move can help deal with the Mega Venusaur a bit better. Obviously, you can play around that and try to predict around it, but if that gets up a Dragon Dance, maybe 2, it could be really, really bad for Goldoa, unless he, of course, brings that Ditto, which could potentially save the day. If there's no Ditto there, Z-Move Zygarde +2 kind of just wins. Gengar, on top of that, with Sub, huge threat here. Not any, I believe the only Ghost Resist on the entirety of Goldoa's team is the Bisharp, and
you remembered it!
I do remember it, and I can, you don't even have to run Focus Blast, run HP Fighting. Just run HP Fighting, run Shadow Ball, maybe run Psychic to be able to hit the Venusaur harder, and then run Sludge, and then run a substitute with Black Sludge, and there's your Gengar set right there, and it does so much work in this matchup. And then unless Gigalith comes for Goldoa, Zard Y is just ridiculously hard for Goldoa to switch into. I know there's a Milotic there, but obviously Solar Beam exists. But if that Gigalith is there with the Sandstream, then Zard Y does get shut down. So basically decides which Weather Mons do come for either team. And on top of that, Curslax is a major threat for Melon against Goldoa here. There's a lot of Mons that just don't do enough to it, and especially if it gets up those couple of curses. The one thing that will be a saving grace for Goldoa there is the Bisharp with knockoff, being able to get rid of a berry so it can't just go and recycle. That would be something huge for him, but he needs to keep the Bisharp around for that. Now looking at Goldoa, I fully expect Ditto. Ditto has to come this game. Like, there's no way Ditto doesn't come this game, because again, Zygarde 50 at +2 with Z-Move for the Mega Venu just kind of wins here. It's so good. Top of that, Special Victini is a very strong bring, especially with a Z Focus Blast to hit that Snorlax, because if you don't, Victini is just setup fodder. Blue Flare might get a burn, but if he runs Facade, then it doesn't matter. But then this is the big kicker for me, and this is why I actually have Goldoa winning this game. Haxorus. Haxorus just 6-0s here. 2 DDs, it's over. Like, and if there's enough things worn down or some things aren't there, just 1 DD and it is over. Haxorus just absolutely obliterates Melon's team, and honestly, it could be over just with 1 DD, potentially 2, depending on the Mew set that gets brought, depending on if Rabombi is Scarf maybe, so you want that speed for it. Either way, like, the combination of just Earthquake plus Dragon Stab is just, and like a Z Dragon move at that. Oh, and Poison Jab for Rabombi, I should say. It's over at that point. So I do go with Goldoa, and the Haxorus, look out for that this week. It's going to be a major threat in this game, maybe the biggest threat to any team this week.
Now, you said the saving grace for Goldoa would be Bisharp, correct?
Yes.
In past week, it's shown that the saving grace has been Melon forgetting what happiness is.
That
First off.
Also is the thing, which is why I mentioned Facade.
Secondly, I can definitely see Assault Vest Bisharp coming this week to literally 1v1 the Gengar. Because if he hits Focus Blast, it does maybe 50, and you have to hit that again after he can break your sub with a knockoff and then Sucker Punch you down and play Sucker Punch Mind Games, or he just pursues you and you just die right away. What do I know? But Bisharp plus Haxorus this week will put in the most of work. Win Goldoa wins this game. Shout outs to his front office for always putting together good teams.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup for sure, because both teams have big threats in the form of dragons this week. And so we'll see what happens this week. There are some solid threats. Also, we didn't mention Rabombi is a solid threat if it gets played properly as well. And Dugtrio is always there to potentially trap something and get a kill. Cobalion going down could be pretty big. Gengar going down to the Dugtrio as well would be pretty... Wait, no. Can Ghost types be trapped by Arena?
No.
It might be... It cannot be. Never mind. I knew it could be tagged by Shadow Tag, but I'm like, wait a minute. Can we trap by Arena Trap? It could not, so... Never mind that.
You learned.
Hey.
Anyway...
I realized halfway I was through saying it.
Anyway, going into our last game of the day, we have the Los Angeles Cathedral coached by Regulator versus the LA Nuking coached by Danza. This is our battle for Los Angeles. Now, Greg, Mega does some very solid work against Danza once the God Drampa fades away. Seismitoad's also very solid this game as it can check Weavile, Zeraora, and defensive licks. Sisso's alright this game, but it does get pressured a lot to take hits. Now, Danza. Error 404, Gallade Switching not found. You gotta kill. Error 404, Gallade Switching is not found. You kill the Seismitoad, and you claim a kill every time you come on in, like any Ice type versus my FDL team of Mono Flying. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad.
Anyway, but yeah, Danza, his Gallade literally just 6-0s his man from turn 1 once Seismitoad goes down. Like, there's no reason why Gallade just doesn't set up one SD and just start destroying everything on his team. Gallade is bulky enough to take a hit from Tapu Koko and then just murder it back.
See, it'll be interesting, because we'll see if he decides to bring Leaf Blade for the Toad then, because of that very reason. I don't know if he'd have the coverage for it, but yeah, Mega Gallade here is just ridiculous for Danza, like 100%.
Yep, and I think with that, we might be done here. Anything else you have to add?
I'm moving to Australia, so I might not be here next week. Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. Also, if you guys want to be part of the fan picks, be sure to join the fan Discord down below. Claim your favorite coach. Tell me what teams you like to see. Come answer our question of the day that's just newly kind of added, kind of sort of new, really, not really, I don't know anymore. But come join the fan Discord. Hang out, do some cool picks, be cool. With that, I think we're out for the day, guys. Peace.
See ya.